What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing? If you guys are brand new here to the channel, you guys don't know what we do, don't worry, I'm gonna break it down for you guys. We talk about the most scariest and creepiest videos on the net, on the web, that's gonna make us question everything secret. Sit back, let's do what we do best, seekers. Say it with me, y'all. I know what we do. Seek the truth.
So details about Peter Thiel's secret society has been revealed. So the Dialogue Society is a private, invitation-only network co-founded in 2006 by Palantir Chairman Thiel. And they hold secret meetings all over the world that are completely off the record, where they obviously talk about technology and finance and how to control our world and building cults, everything. How to control society, just normal everyday stuff. A meeting of the puppeteers of our society. But a directory in the website's code was revealed by a Swiss hacker. The next retreat that they're going to have is actually in Dublin, Ireland, and it's going to have people from all over politics, tech, celebrities, multiple people from the Trump administration, NATO's top U.S. commander. But, some of the very normal things to talk about during the conference that's happening this year is navigating World War III, battlefield technology, money does it by happiness, bring back nuclear, build a cult, which is probably the best one that's going to happen this year in my eyes. Because of course you want all kinds of new information on how to build cults in today's age. And that last one is actually going to be moderated by the founder of the Christian networking site Pray.com. But you should get online and look at the members that were exposed in this not so secret society now.
Interesting. Yeah, those popped up out of nowhere. Like, what the hell is going on?
Major props to this guy for making the most out of his situation. This would be an extremely difficult condition to live with. This video was sent to me through Instagram DM. It shows a guy with a very unique body type. You'll notice that his bone structure appears kind of flat and bent, and that's because this guy more than likely has something known as Marfan syndrome. Now, first off, this guy's name is Dimas Ben Kong. He's found on Instagram, just wanted to shout him out. Marfan syndrome is a genetic disorder that impacts the body's connective tissue and oftentimes results in individuals being extremely tall as well as extremely thin. This can directly influence organs, bones, blood vessels, resulting oftentimes in a more deformed look. And for many individuals that don't have a super extreme version of this, their chest is either caved in or pushed out quite a bit. This disease can also impact your heart, and this is where it becomes lethal. Hopefully Dimas is not struggling with that if he does indeed have Marfan syndrome. I wasn't able to find anywhere where he personally talked about what he had, so this is my best guess. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below.
Spoke on Project Bluebeam. If there is some sort of alien invasion, we're basically attacking ourselves. You think that'll work?
I think enough people are aware of it, but I think the exception doesn't control the rule. A lot of people do know about it, but then what? Can we organize? Can we figure out what to actually do? Knowing is one thing, and then actually taking action is another. Are people going to be scared? Are people just going to fall over and adhere to whatever they say?
Because I've always said, even if this alien invasion happens and enough people are like, hey, it's not what we think or not what we're shown, but people are still dying, there's a whole nother element of fear that will trump whether you know or don't know.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter. If you got buildings falling down and cars blowing up, doesn't matter what the fuck you think at that point because it's all real.
And they simulated this reality to be whatever they say it is at that point. Oh yeah, it's aliens or this fake messiah, or we need a one world government now to do X, Y, and Z, so you're all safe.
David Grush just appeared on a Fox News segment and said this.
I did get access to crash retrieval photos and everything, so I've seen the recovered vehicles and everything. So I would say that's probably the most stupendous thing, earth-shattering thing that changed my worldview when I got access to some of that years ago. A lot of it was lenticular discs, some was crescent moon shaped. I call it the flattened sunfish. There's a bunch of different morphologies that the U.S. government has recovered, from eggs to discs. To crescent moon, boomerang type vehicles, and I got a small smattering sample of that of ones that have landed or crashed on the surface of the earth.
So here's my question for you. Do you think these earth-shattering images or videos that people, numerous people, like Grush, keep referring to will ever actually be released to the public? Or will they remain classified indefinitely? Let me know what you think.
I think they're gonna remain classified, bro. Because like I said, we've seen it this year, man. When they keep more dropping, the UFO files. They didn't even drop them all at once. It kept like they're doing it in phases or something like that, man. They just released a couple of new ones, I think like last week or something like that. So, but even then, we had people coming out talking, saying that those weren't like, I guess, all the legit photos they saw in the UFO files, and they was calling for them to release it. You guys know that's never gonna happen, bro. So I just guess we just got to take what they give us, man.
What is flying up? Oh! Oh! Holy shit! What the hell?
Cenat is alive and well. Thought said 8 months back was the real Cenat, and that this one is gone. This is what he said, bro. Now, as you can see, Reggie was in denial, or Reggie knows, but Reggie can't say nothing. Shh, shut up! Why would they say that about Kai? Knowing how everybody's been thinking that to begin with, that the old Kai is gone. And this new Kai's been acting very strange. And even his friend Tota that runs with him could see the change, the transformation in Kai Cenat, bro. Now, do I believe that he was replaced? Absolutely not. This is the same Kai Cenat. But he has been acting very different. He talks different. His energy is different. Everything about this new Kai Cenat is different, bro. Tota knows what's up, but Reggie's playing the game. Reggie knows something's going on, but he just doesn't want to admit it. Ever since HW, I don't think we ever gonna see the old Kai Cenat again. This is what people are saying. I don't believe that because obviously he's right here. But people just be saying anything because this video is for entertainment purposes only. This is the same Kai Cenat since way back, bro. This Kai Cenat right here, I don't know. Let me know. I'm out.
I think what Tota was trying to say was, I guess, he said the Kai, it's the he said that's the old Kai back then. I guess 8 months ago is not the same one we know. You know what I mean? People change. Kai's goals just probably just changed, shifted around. But he just dropped a streaming university too. So I'm guessing his return to streaming is like it's coming up real soon though. So we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see. Do you guys really think Kai Cenat he changed, bro? I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below.
I mean, I'm not losing my mind. The only thing that is unique about Mona Lisa was her undistinguishable expression. No one could tell if she was smiling or not. That's a clear smile. You could go on the street and ask everyone, and everyone would say she's smiling. Back then, when I was in school, we were discussing, is she smiling or not? Because that is the most unique feature of this painting. Please tell me I'm not losing my mind. That's not Mona Lisa. That's not the Mona Lisa I know from my childhood.
This is the last one about this woman's experience renting a car.
I've seen a few posts about this and I wanted to comment on it because I have a personal experience with it. It isn't something that's happening in the future, it's something that's happening now. I rented a car in Europe, and as the woman handed me the car keys, she said, "This is a brand new car," and she was like super excited about it. She was like, "It's 2026, it's a brand new car," and I was like, "Awesome, no one's had a chance to like fart or smoke in it, this will be great." And I'd driven up for a day or two, and I was getting on a highway. It was a 6-lane highway, and all of a sudden the gas stopped working, and I'm pressing on the gas. I can't get the car to go. So the car is dinging, it's making all this noise, and I can't figure out what's going on. And I look at the dashboard, And in English, it says, sit up straight, we can't find your eyes.
Ew.
Why do you need to see my eyes? That was my first thought. And I'm short, so I sit low in the seat, and I guess, I don't know, maybe I'd been driving a while and I'd kind of slouch down more instead of sitting upright.
That's scary.
I don't know, man. We here at the famous Hollywood sign. But if y'all never seen this, right here, Canyon Lake, this is the blood drop right here. This is the blood drop. This shows all the sacrifices of Hollywood, how the inner works work. If y'all see this, man, that's a straight blood drop. You know what happens in Hollywood stays in Hollywood. But y'all, they letting y'all know right here, bro. You see the blood drop. This is what this shit is about, bro. See that? That's blood. That's a blood drop, like a teardrop full of blood. That's all blood, bro. Like, that is a real blood drop, bro. It's telling you something. Look, Hollywood, sacrifice yourself in blood. Get it back in blood, gang. Y'all gotta come check this out, though. Get it back in blood. Hollywood said y'all gotta get it back in blood. Y'all wanna be down with this? Y'all gotta sign y'all life over in blood, bro. That's how you get up in these hills. That's how you get up here, gang.
That was pure symbolism, man. The fact that they, like I said, the blood drop and the Hollywood sign is like right there, putting two together, man. We've seen these clips for a while, man. We've been seeing what they say that people have to do, and they be signing those contracts, man, to go to Hollywood, bro. That was some scary symbolism.
Серьезно?
That's a werewolf.
Что?
I don't know what type of dog that is.
What if I told you one of the world's most powerful scientific facilities is about to go silent for 4 years? And some people think that's a very bad sign. On June 29th, 2026, CERN is scheduled to begin a major shutdown that could last until 2030. Coincidence? Maybe. But conspiracy theorists have noticed something strange. The last major shutdown happened between 2018 and 2022. What happened during that period? A global pandemic, economic uncertainty, political chaos, and world-changing events. Before that, another shutdown happened in 2013, and within days, a massive meteor exploded over Russia. So here's the question. Are these just random events that happened near CERN shutdowns? Or is there a pattern hiding in plain sight? Now CERN is preparing for another long shutdown, right as the world heads toward major elections, technological breakthroughs, AI expansion, and global uncertainty. Is it all coincidence? Or are we about to witness another chapter in a pattern nobody can explain? Let me know what you think below.
Everybody keeps talking about the streets in LA, got a problem out here. The streets in LA got a problem. The streets in LA are fun. Just a very dark pit that goes on for a very, very long time. The streets are fun, because that's there, and nothing bad will happen. The streets are fun.
I guarantee if you go down that hole, man, you're gonna find some old people down there, bro. They got some hidden cities, man, bro, down there, man. That pothole is actually ridiculous, bro. How long has that even been there, man? Imagine you just driving through LA, bro. Boom. Like, what the heck I just said, man?
Anyone else think these concerts are demonic?
What in the actual ritual?
It's one big ritual. They are harvesting your energy at these concerts.
What's wrong with these songs?
Stay weird, y'all. Be careful.
Guys, they They have now officially confirmed what caused the OceanGate submersible to implode on its way down to the Titanic, and it has now been 3 years. Canada's safety board just dropped the final report, and they're saying that the carbon fiber hull was already cracking apart long before that final dive. On one of the earlier dives, it was reported that the people on board heard a loud bang come from the hull as they were surfacing.
What's that bang? The US Coast Guard has released a damning new report into the tragic Titan submersible implosion that killed 5 people. They say the disaster could have been prevented.
The company never did a real inspection, and they're saying that that bang was the hull starting to come apart, and then they took it down 8 more times anyways. This entire time, the sensors inside of that submersible were warning that the hull was failing, but the company misread the data so badly that they never pulled it out of service. The system that was literally built to give them the time to surface was never even properly tested. On top of all of that, they're saying that nobody ever actually proved that this hull could survive the trip down to the Titanic in the first place. They had absolutely zero regulators checking any of this on the submersible, so it kept just going down until the hull obviously gave out on dive 88. This honestly feels like a bunch of information that we already knew, but at least now it is officially confirmed.
It's been 3 years since that happened, man. Well, that just shows you, man. Well, time is moving way too fast, man. That was 3 years ago. I kind of remember that situation like it was yesterday, man. Oh. But the fact, like you said, that the whole, it was giving them a warning system and they wasn't even paying attention to it. And they would down 8 more times. Scary.
What would you do if you pull up to a gas station, but then you realize someone from the road was following you? And once they realize that you realize that they were following you, and you have your camera out, they completely put their car in reverse. I mean reverse. Completely out of the gas station. And to the amazement of myself and all of the people present, he continued to go into reverse. All the way up the block. And when I thought this was finally over and he had left, I was made aware by some good gentlemen here, especially namely in this truck. You're a good man. He let me know your stalker is still indeed stalking you. Just look. He is waiting for you to leave. These are monitoring split.
Nah, why was he following her though, bro? Good thing she put into the gas station for other people, man, and that man was helping out. He just put it in reverse and like in the head in the cup, bro. Man, you gotta be careful nowadays, bro. Imagine, man, if she put it to the gas station at night, man, nobody was there. I don't want to think about what happened. She was sharp. She was aware, man.
Brand new video just taken on June 5th, 2026 that could showcase the clearest Bigfoot footage ever. Claims that the Sasquatch was measured at approximately 12 feet tall. If this is the case, it would be almost impossible to be any kind of person in costume or any kind of wildlife that's been discovered. The details we can see the most are its dark human-like eyes, its strong brow ridge, large nose, and its leathery skin. I mean, this has to be some of the clearest footage yet. And most believe it's not AI because of how realistic it is. Usually you can at least tell a little bit if it's AI, but this one doesn't seem to be. Another thing people love about this one is how camouflaged the being is. Bigfoot is said to be a master of camouflage, a creature that can blend into almost every environment, and this here is a perfect example. The hiker probably never would have seen it if it didn't move, hidden in plain sight, but not at the same time. It seems like a really legitimate encounter that the hiker just happened to stumble upon, something he probably wishes he never stumbled upon. But let me know what you guys think of this footage in the comments. Is it the clearest and realest ever?
Comes up to us, asks us if she wants us to take a picture of us, and she disappears in the ocean with 2 dead things hanging from each side of her. I have to say, watch out. You see that? Have I seen the parades or? And she's by herself. It's not very small.
I mean, they must know this water. Jeremy, you don't know the water. You don't know. She's standing up.
Yeah, she is.
Is she coming back yet? That was very, very dumb. Jeremy, somebody someone's a mermaid. Just wait a minute. Are you serious, too? What did she have her hand? A dead fish? Did she go under? Jeremy, she's gone. Jeremy. Jeremy, she's gone.
Yeah. Oh, she ain't coming back.
She's gone. Jeremy, she's gone. That was the weirdest thing in the world. Jeremy, I'm videotaping this. Get right before your camera.
I don't know what we with this, man. I thought that wasn't a siren mermaid. I don't know if that was kind of a spirit or entity right there, man. She had the two fish and she just kept walking. But she just like disappeared, bro. Okay. Got a ghost building in China. See like this light coming from the building. It's supposed to be like a creature? Snap.
You ever notice when music artists start exposing the industry, they end up going? Oliver Tree did it, now he's going. Angie Stone did it, now she's going. Michael Jackson did it, now he's going. What the fuck is happening in the music industry? They say everything that shine and glitter is in gold. So when people sign those contracts, they do it for the gold, but the corporation want your soul. This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. I have a question for you. When you listen to a song, what's your favorite part? The hook. Why do you think they call it the hook? By the way, did you know that Lucifer is the angel of music? They don't want you to know that the hook is really the bait or the trap. Oh, you don't believe that the hook is the bait? Go ask a fish. How many hooks court the fish? How many times you listen to a song and got hooked on it? But let's go a little deeper. Every time one of these music industries release a big song, you know they use 13 witches to do a channel with, right? Yes, music and hooks is really a spiritual chant. You ever notice you could be doing some random shit and a hook from a song just pop in your head? You ever listen to a song and it take you back down memory lane? It make you think about your old relationships, your good times, your bad times, your mom, your dad. It seems like music is like a time travel machine. Music can tap into your emotions because it's water. Remember, the spell is in the language. When you look at the word mu, it means water. We already know SIC means sick. So when you put music together, you get water that's sick. We are 85% of water, so when we listen to these low music, it make us sick. So the real question is this shit really worth it? When people sign these contracts, it's really a contract of silence. That's why all these music artists, they do this all the time. Look at the old pictures.
Okay, we paying attention.
I did.
What?
Oh my god.
What? Are we?
It just...
No. Are we crazy? No, it's gone. Wait, babe.
No, listen.
Alright, we zooming in. What the heck? Oh, nah, man. Okay, you paying attention? Gone, bro. It's not ahead of it either. That car literally just disappeared out of nowhere, man. It didn't just speed up and get in front of the Amazon truck. It was, as soon as the Amazon truck passed through, it was gone, bro. I'm gonna say that's a ghost car, man. That's my best guess.
Of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
The hell? That old timey car in front of him, man. Once again, man. Oh, the Ghost Twins. I didn't put those two and two together just until now. I thought those were the Nordics. Nah, but they do look like the Ghost Twins from the Matrix. I can't see the resemblance.
I thought somebody was watching me. Don't that look like an eyeball? I thought somebody was watching me, y'all. Y'all can hear how I'm breathing. Like this shit is, it scared me. Look at that. That look like something.
I saw
Imagine
eyeballs.
how much propaganda it took to convince us we should switch from factory farming to producing food in another factory. You might be surprised to find out the same handful of corporations that dominate industrial animal agriculture have been quietly investing in lab-grown meat since 2016. Alongside billionaire backers like Bill Gates and Sergey Brin, Tyson Foods, Cargill, and JBS are positioning themselves at the forefront of this next iteration of the protein supply chain. The largest meat packer, Tyson Foods, not only acquired a $15 million stake in Beyond Meat, but also invested in Upside Foods and led a seed round in an Israeli cultured meat company. Cargill invested in a different Israeli meat company called Aleph Farms, focused on lab-grown steak, and also made a follow-on investment into Upside Foods. While JBS has made even more recent investments, including creating Brazil's first cultivated protein R&D center in 2023. What's the common thread here? Control. The big four meat packers own approximately 85% of the beef market. So if lab-grown meat is successful, that's all patented, and the same companies that are already controlling beef have significant stake in this future too. The way to resist this future is by supporting our small farmer. You can find local American cattle ranchers who actually deserve this support using the localized farmers market app.
Yo, what kind of chicken is this in Indonesia, bro? Y'all ever seen anything like this? What is, bro? Look at this dinosaur. And then look at this tiny one. Look at this other one. Bro, what is going on? And the crazy thing is, I'm from Key West, Florida. In Key West, Florida, we have a big white chicken like this. But this right here is a dinosaur. The chicken or the rooster in Key West is not this big. This thing is crazy looking, bro. Y'all ever seen? Where did this thing come from? What do y'all think? You guys think this thing has been genetically altered, or is this thing natural? What is going on here? Look at this thing. This thing is huge.
Agoy, masaya na kong ogeso. Stilan. Sa PM lang mo sa gusto magpaliwat sa...
Bro, we never know what really is going on in the world, bro. There's a lot of things happening, a lot of different type of animals popping up, man. And they told us at the end of the world, we'd be seeing some crazy things like this. But yeah, y'all ever seen anything like this, man? Let me know down in the comments below, man. The shift is here. Let's...
Morbid Facts, Part 510. Ariana Grande reportedly has a longtime stalker named Paige Neiman who tries to impersonate the famous singer. She's been obsessed with Grande since she was 12 years old and has allegedly undergone several plastic surgeries to look like her despite being only 20 years old. When the Titanic sank, the richest passenger on board was business mogul John Jacob Astor IV, who had enough money in his bank account to build 30 Titanics. He ended up giving up his spot in the final lifeboat to instead save the lives of a random woman and her daughter. Hero. These were the last photos of Garrett Miller, taken just minutes before a soccer goalpost tipped over and struck him in the head, killing him instantly. In 2013, a family dog named Killian was protecting a baby boy from an abusive babysitter by standing between them and growling at her. This made the boy's parents suspicious of the babysitter, so they hid a recording device under the couch and heard her swearing at the baby while possibly shaking and slapping him. The sitter eventually pleaded guilty to assault and battery of a child and was sentenced to 3 years in prison. Man's best friend right there, bro.
Toys that have been banned because they're just so dangerous. The first one, I don't know how this was ever legal. It was a yard dart. It had this giant metal spear on the end. You would throw them basically at each other across the yard. These caused lots of damage. This is a little sky flyer. You pulled a string, it went flying up, but the dangerous thing here is it would poke people's eyes out because they came out with so much force. This is an atomic hit. It had uranium in it. People were getting radiation. Crazy. Follow for more.
Uranium?
Things happening in the world right now. After a woman took a DNA test for funsies, police used it to charge her grandmother with murder in a cold case. A woman divorced her husband in order to be with Brad Pitt, only to find out that it was an AI scam. A Philadelphia man who was awarded more than $4 million for an overturned murder conviction ended up pleading guilty in a case where he ended a man's life over $1,200. TSA stopped more than 6,000 weapons at airport security in 2024, and 94% of them were loaded. A Texas woman has set the record for donating more than 2,000 liters of her breast milk. The CEO of Apple, Tim Cook, has let the world know that Stevie Wonder demoed the Apple Vision Pro. A man disrupted a TV interview where a woman was speaking on her feelings of being uncomfortable in public places, and he refused to leave. The city of Bend, Oregon recently ordered its citizens to stop putting googly eyes on statues.
Morbid Facts, Part 511. RFK Jr.'s gravelly speaking voice is caused by a rare neurological condition he developed in his early 40s called spasmodic dysphonia, which causes the muscles that open and close the vocal cords to spasm involuntarily. Here's what he used to sound like before this condition versus after.
And if somebody dumps something into the river that's poison, and it goes into a drinking water intake, and children drink that drinking water, that is child abuse. I think those vaccines we need to have, again, true double-blind placebo-controlled trials on that. There's 25% of Americans.
While the true cause is unknown, people who do a lot of public speaking are far more likely to develop this condition. RFK required a titanium bridge in his vocal folds to be able to speak at all, and receives Botox shots in his vocal cords every 4 months. He says it's painful to hear himself speak and feels sorry for those who have to listen to him. What happened? What caused it? I guess that's the real question we need to be asking. And public speakers, I guess they're aware of that. Something to think about. Expert level, we know.
Bro, what happened to all of the crazy inventions we used to come up with? Pedestrian safety catchers, baby cages for those who live in a city, multiple changing rooms, projectile nets for police to catch criminals, the freaking mono wheel, and now we've got this. What the hell? Bro, they were even rethinking childbirth from the ground up. Because let me introduce you to the centrifugal birth table. It is a legit invention that was even awarded a patent by the US government in 1963. It works by strapping a pregnant woman to a table lying flat on her back, and then when labor starts, it begins to spin, like fast. 8 Gs, kind of fast. That's a fighter pilot territory. The idea was that the centrifugal force would help assist getting the baby out naturally by supplementing the mother's pushing. And then once the big moment arrives, there's a casual safety net at the base of the table to catch the newborn. There was even a little nifty bell built in that would ring once the baby was caught. You know, just in case the doctor wasn't paying attention. Yeah, actually, maybe on second thought we're better off with this.
Unexplained things come on camera that will make you question literally everything. This is a video of the president. Now, at first I didn't see what was happening here, but I slowed it down and zoomed in for you. Something's coming out of his sleeve. It looks like a little snake. What is this? Follow from 20.
What was that, man? You know, people in power to be having some strange things goes on around him, but there was definitely something, man, that was coming out of his freaking coat jacket.
2025 just got even crazier, part 9. Firstly, Mark Zuckerberg recently had a meeting with Meta employees and told them that everything I say leaks. It sucks. Well, and you probably ask, how do I know this? Well, the meeting's audio was leaked. Next, a man in the US was just arrested for the death of his own friend who claimed he could dodge bullets while they were intoxicated. Unfortunately, the man could not dodge bullets, and it costed his life. Finally, astronomers just discovered an asteroid named 2024 YR4. The good news is, it has a 99% chance of passing by Earth safely. However, the bad news is, it has a 1.3% chance of hitting Earth in the year 2032. But guys, let's not really worry about this until the year 2032 then.
This is why you should always lock your doors. A man in Venezuela was woken up in the dead of night to a strange haunting whistle. At first, he thought it was his mind playing tricks, but then he heard it again.
You hear that, right?
Dragging footsteps echoed through the silence, creeping towards his room.
Closer and closer.
But as whoever's outside arrives at the door, this happens. Something tries to get inside. The man believes he was visited by El Silbón, a wandering spirit of death from Venezuelan folklore, known to enter homes with open doors. The further it sounds, the closer he is.
Facts that might ruin your childhood. Most of your favorite animal actors are probably dead. Roald Dahl, the famous author of books like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and James and the Giant Peach, was actually really racist. He was known to be very hateful towards Jewish people. In reality, Pocahontas was 10 and John Smith was 28 years old when they met. And if the movie Finding Nemo was scientifically accurate, then Nemo's dad would have become a female after his mom died and mated with his son.
What? I had no idea a clownfish could even do that. That really just freaking made me question my whole childhood, man. The more you knew. That's the White House gate. He said, yeah, let me not do this.
Oh yeah. Look at the ducks.
Got someone on the roof too? Oh yeah.
Guys, this area's gonna be closed. Start rolling either way. Thank you. Thank you.
Extreme plastic surgery fails.
It went through with that.
Nobody has been able to explain this creepy viral video. For the past 11 years, a man who runs a TikTok account by the name of Dude, My House is Haunted has been pretty confident that there has been some paranormal activity within his home. He claims that ever since his wife passed away, there have been some strange and unusual things going on. So eventually he decided to leave cameras out and record what was happening and post it onto TikTok, which is the footage that you are about to see. In this video you can see a chair seemingly moving on its own. It moves somewhat slowly until it suddenly is violently pulled into the corner by the kitchen. A mysterious shadowy figure can be seen moving behind the chair, and then suddenly out of nowhere the chair is thrown into the kitchen. Now of course we're not really sure what happened in this video, but I'm having a hard time coming up with an explanation for this one.
Could be edit. Somebody could have been pulling it. That's the shadow.
Forbidden places that you can never visit. Number 1, Area 51 is a highly classified US Air Force facility that has been associated with UFOs, strange government cover-ups, and potentially testing alien technology. Although no one knows for sure what exactly goes on here, what we do know is that the facility itself is actually quite small. But the restricted area in total is about 90,000 acres of land. Next, Banga Fort is said to be the most haunted place in India. According to legend, there was a beautiful princess named Ratnavati and she lived in this fort. Many men wanted her hand in marriage, one of whom was a black magician named Singya. The princess however rejected Singya and he laid a curse on the fort which haunts it till this day. There have been numerous stories of people who entered the fort at night and were never seen again. As a result, people have been banned from entering the fort at night. Finally, the Bohemian Grove. The Bohemian Grove is said to be a secret group of very powerful people. It's alleged that many presidents and business leaders are part of this group. Every year they meet up in the woods and perform strange rituals, such as setting fire to a big owl statue. No one else is allowed to go in or take any photos. But a filmmaker named Ron Johnson once snuck a camera inside, and he presumably caught the world's most powerful men doing all of these strange things. For more?
He's a legend, man. That's not the first time we heard a group of powerful people came together to do some weird things. You know, man. You know the other groups out there. One of the most famous. I don't have to say it.
Here are creepy and strange videos that no one is able to explain. The next time you're in your room, you may want to check under your bed or behind your wardrobe. In this video, Andy explains his life story in the video chat, but something very sinister lurks in the background. Okay, pay close attention to what happens in the back. From what it looks like, popping right behind, you can see a figure with some hair. No one is sure what it is, but it might be an evil spirit. In this video, we can see a group of kids that are going to dance next to a field while the cows observe from afar. Although everything seems normal, as the kids walk into frame, a boy with a blue shirt emerges from nowhere. Pay close attention again as they walk in. Where does he come from? No one knows. This video starts out with a girl dancing to a popular song on TikTok. However, something very strange happens behind the scenes. As the girl dances, a strange-looking pale hand emerges. And no one knows where it comes from. Be sure to follow me on Instagram for more.
Beware your surroundings. You never know who's watching.
This man took the night shift because nobody wanted to. But a few nights later, he would find out why. Tim from the TikTok page Tim Saber got a job as a night guard at an undisclosed facility. In one of the corridors was an abandoned unit where most of the paranormal events would occur. One night, Tim left his phone to record the abandoned unit, and what he captured disturbed him. A small attic door begins to shake, as if someone or something is up there. Tim grabs the ladder to investigate. What he found is horrifying. There's something in the attic that Tim is not noticing.
I'm getting backroom vibes.
Suddenly, an unexpected loud noise startles Tim, but when he looks again, he finally sees it.
I see that? It's like a little statue. I'm gone, bro. Me personally, I'm out. Deuce.
I want to talk about the O'Fallon footage. On the eastern side of Missouri, a tape was recovered from a camera recorder of a missing man in 2002. This photo found in the footage has marked the most chilling mystery to have ever come out of this county. The man is pictured here. His name was Roy Hafer, and he was sort of an amateur investigator. You know, he would go to scenes with recent crimes, places where he could film, and he could sell the footage hopefully to a news station. And on an evening where he ventured to a hot spot where a woman had gone missing just a year prior, he would never make it home from that abandoned house. A police search was conducted by the following morning, as well as a search of the abandoned home and a search of this underpass where a significant amount of blood was recovered, but his body was not. They would also go on to find his camera recorder, where they would find that final footage. This was the face seen in the last frame of that video footage.
Just disappeared off the face of the earth? What happened?
Animals you probably haven't seen as babies.
What do you mean haven't seen as baby?
Hyenas.
I've seen a baby hyena actually. Oh. Tell me that's not adorable. Why is there scary music in the background?
Camels.
Right, I've not seen a baby camel. I'll own that. Oh. Look at the eyelashes. I take it.
Hedgehogs.
That's Sonic.
Hedgehog. Oh, that looks like something else. Oh, he keeps making me take it back. Sloths. Oh my heart, I will adopt one right now.
Raccoons.
This is mine.
Rocket.
Okay, maybe not a rat. They're a bit reckless. Okay, all right, but yeah. Right, okay, you might have won me over there.
Skunks.
Oh no, there's not room for too many people in my house, and I'm enough. Oh.
I ain't getting that baby skunk, bro. If you guys can pick any animals at Dot Secrets, which one would you get, man? I'm getting a hedgehog, bro. Call him Sonic. We know, man. Expert level. Right here.
The man seen stabbing that security camera was 29-year-old Waldo Mejia. Now, the neighbors who noticed this disturbing footage actually called the police on Waldo at the time, and he was arrested. But just a few months later, on January 5th of this year, Waldo attacked a 14-year-old boy who was walking to school. The 14-year-old, named Caleb Rios, was randomly targeted. There is no prior motive to this attack, and it's still unknown what caused Waldo to snap. But Waldo approached Caleb from behind and began stabbing. And unfortunately, Caleb, the 14-year-old victim, would die from his injuries. Now, this story is disturbing because Waldo had been arrested multiple times in the past, 4 times prior to this murder, including on other stabbing-related charges. Not only had he stabbed his neighbor's Ring video camera, but he had also stabbed somebody in another completely unprovoked attack in New York City. After he was arrested, Waldo was seen screaming expletives at reporters and the authorities, and still there has been no explanation as to why he targeted this random 14-year-old kid on his way to school. If you want to hear more true crime stories, listen to the podcast Murder in America that I co-host with my wife Courtney. It's available on all streaming platforms, including Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
This video will prove you have thalassophobia.
You passed this video before. Oh, F1. Okay. This one's kind of getting to me, man. You that high up. It's open sea. If you fall, that's game over, man.
Abandoned house of murdered family.
Going in.
This was once a loving family home, but has sat empty since the 1990s when tragedy struck.
The family were brutally murdered one night, but the killer was never found. There was talk that on the night in question, there had been an escape from the local psychiatric hospital. Although this was never proven, the locals still believe this was the case. The case was officially closed in the early 2000s.
To this day?
The house now sits, beds made, waiting for the family to come home. There are even plates left in the sink. Locals and prospective buyers do not want the house because of dark figures that are supposedly seen at night.
Don't blame them. Me either. That's bad energy. Bad spirits. You good off that?
This was truly a shocking story, with an even sadder ending.
These are the
Sounds
four most
like
haunted
it.
dolls in the world. First is the Annabelle doll, which inspired the Conjuring movies, which, as you guys know, is one of the most haunted dolls in the world. She's able to not only move herself, but also move objects, and is supposedly inhabited by an extremely demonic being, forcing her to constantly be in a spirit box. Then have Ruby, which in my opinion is one of the most terrifying due to the fact that it's a porcelain doll, which all of our mothers and grandmothers have. Ruby doesn't do anything crazy, but the scariest part is supposedly the ancestor who had this doll prior passed while holding this doll, and now supposedly inhabits it. And it's a porcelain doll, which makes it absolutely terrifying. Then have Letta, who's a 200-year-old doll found underneath a house in Australia, said to make noises in the night, move by itself, and the owner has a specific account of when he was moving, he heard this doll scream while being in the trunk, screaming, "Let me out." I'm good on everything that. Then you have Robert the doll, who in my opinion is probably the most haunted and cursed doll on this list. Said to be so cursed that if you take a picture or look at him without his permission, he can curse you. And this has happened to multiple people who decided to film Robert without his permission. This doll not only moves by itself, but the previous owner has made multiple statements of hearing this doll run inside of the attic. On top of that, the neighbors have seen Robert peeking out the window in the second story, while no one was up there. These dolls, they're scary.
March of 2012,
Keep 'em away from me.
a 5-year-old girl named Maria sat on the floor of her kitchen in a city in northeast Brazil, eating an empada. Just then, the front door opened, and in walked Maria's mother. Right behind her was this young woman. This young woman wants to become her new nanny. In the past, there had been other women who would come by to be her nanny, and it didn't seem to last very long. She told Maria that as soon as they were done, the new nanny would come outside and join her. And after a whole hour had passed by, still this new nanny had not come outside. A month later, Maria was out in her backyard. She heard a commotion happening inside of her house. And then all of a sudden, these uniformed police officers came charging out the back door towards Maria. It would turn out, Maria's father, George Silvera, was not actually her father, nor was Maria's mother, Isabel Silvera, her actual mother, nor was her aunt, Bruna Silva, actually her aunt. They were instead members of a cult called the Cartel Sect. The literal purpose of the Cartel Sect was to eliminate women they deemed unclean in order to reduce and purify the world's population. They would shoo Maria out into the backyard, and then they would murder the nanny. They would then butcher them and stuff the human meat into their famous empadas and sell them to the people in town. The biggest shock of the story is actually the real identity of little 5-year-old Maria. She was actually the daughter of the very first victim of the Cartel Sect. And ever since, they had just kept Maria and treated her like she was a member of the family. George, Isabel, and Bruna, Maria's fake family, were convicted of 3 murders. As for Maria, according to recent news articles, she was reunited with distant family.
No words for that case, man. That's just mind-blowing. Truly. We seen this, man. We know what this is.
Bizarre facts that'll blow your mind. A bolt of lightning can reach up to 53,000 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun. Researchers found by flossing your teeth, you're actually helping to improve your memory. Jack Daniel, the inventor of Jack Daniel's whiskey, died from kicking a safe with his foot. This caused his toe to break, which ended up getting infected, which ultimately led to his death. And finally, Dwayne Johnson holds the world record for the most selfies taken in 3 minutes with 105.
How was he doing that? He was just going like boom, 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 boom.
2024
What?
just got even crazier, part 19. Firstly, meet retired engineer Tom Brown, and after retiring, he wanted to make a difference in the world by saving rare and lost apples from going extinct. And now in 2024, after nearly 25 years of doing this, Tom has saved around 1,200 types of apples from going extinct. You're a legend, Tom. Next, new words were just added to the dictionary, and I'm going to tell you the 3 words that really stuck out to me the most. The first one being bed rotting, which means somebody who spends many hours in a day in their bed with snacks or an electronic device. But it gets more bizarre, because at number 2 is touch grass, which means to participate in real-world activities instead of online ones. Finally, the last word is the ick, which means a sudden feeling of dislike for something or someone. So, how do you guys feel about these new words that were added to the dictionary in 2024?
Touch grass, my
I
guy.
got stalked by a coyote. Keep your eye on the background, and then what happens in like 2 seconds.
Here's some coyote advice you never asked for from a man who's never had to deal with them. Anyway, y'all know hazing? No, not the college thing. No. Hazing is putting the fear of God in a wild animal to factory reset its behavior. Here's an example. Basically, you want to give him PTSD so he doesn't come close to anything human. Basically, your goal is to have him racially profiling anything on 2 legs. Jokes aside, coyotes are naturally afraid of us. It's when they lose that fear that the trench puppy becomes a problem. And nothing does that faster than when people feed one, even without realizing it. That goes for any animal. But if you bully them on sight, you help them relearn the price of effing around. It doesn't matter what you say, as long as it's with volume and conviction. Obviously, there are exceptions, like if the coyote's hurt, sick, or with kids, and you want to fall back, or else you might have to cash that check. But you gotta think about how they see us. Coyotes have been getting generationally jumped by wolves. But they also know if they stay close enough, they can get leftovers. Coyotes basically treat us like another wolf, so if one steps up, remind him who you are, because history has proven what happens when you don't. Tourists in South Africa fed the baboons so much that they started expecting it, to the point where they don't fear or respect people. That's how you get carjacked by baboons. Macaques in India have gotten so used to people that the government had to use their fear of an even bigger monkey called a langur against them. But since owning a langur is illegal, yep, that man got paid to do that. So unless y'all want to be out here wearing wolf suits, get to hazing.
Who would have thought that the same guy that plays Art the Clown could pull off such an incredible interpretation of the Joker? And I genuinely believe that with the right director and the right script, this guy could actually be the real cinematic Joker. If you haven't seen the 13-minute short Joker's Wild on YouTube, please, I highly recommend it. It's freaking awesome. Because David Howard Thornton, the same exact guy who brought this sadistic clown to the big screen, can also give us one hell of a freaky-ass Joker. Which kind of feels like a more sadistic combination of Cesar Romero and Mark Hamill's version of the Joker, giving us this terrifying cartoonish performance that we haven't really seen in the live-action versions yet. Also, most importantly, the dude can laugh.
He nailed the laugh.
Yeah, that'll do it. Even the way that they designed him in this short, it feels like they ripped him out of the cartoon and put him into this world that just feels so uncanny. But seriously, go watch the full short on YouTube, because I'd really like to see what could be done with this version of the character.
We've already talked about this gigantic Moby Dick animatronic that is under the water and has been there since the 60s, but we're going to talk about it again, because I had a nightmare about it, and I'm making that everyone else's problem. So yes, this gigantic Moby Dick animatronic was put there in, I think, 1967, and it has since sunk and is still under there. This is a photo taken in 2005 of it just completely submerged underwater. People on YouTube actually have videos of them diving under there, and it's just like a carcass of itself, and I don't even want it. You can't see it very clearly because it's so murky. But like the first thing that started going bad on this animatronic was its jaw was so heavy that it couldn't sit all the way up, so its jaw is eventually what brought it down. Like its gigantic heavy jaw just made it sink to the bottom of the lake. Like see, here's it when its jaw was completely down and it's just sitting completely up like that. It used to come up and down. I'm going to show you a video later, but this is it without its jaw, and it And yes, this thing is absolutely huge and life-size. Like here's it with a boat of people. Ew. Here's it when it was being transported into the water for the very first time. Look how tiny these people are in comparison to this gigantic, huge whale animatronic. Whales are my worst fear of all time, but a whale animatronic completely submerged underwater. Miss me with that. Like, of all the animatronics that I have ever covered on this channel, this one scares me the absolute most. I cannot imagine falling in that water with that decayed, horrific, huge fake whale. I would cease to exist. Like, it looks so sad too. Look at Pookie. He looks so sad. So watch this video of it moving and let me know how you feel. Also, if TikTok is banned, please follow me on my YouTube account. It's the exact same name that's on here. I'm going to be doing this exact same thing in the form of YouTube Shorts. I really hope that doesn't actually end up happening. But if so, please check me out on my YouTube. I love you all. Watch this.
Like, imagine that. Coming out of the water, you think that you know it's an animatronic.
Actually found a real demon inside of a hole. Watch this. I don't know what she's saying, but she's approaching this hole.
3:33 in the morning?
And what she hears from this hole is freaking insane. There's something in that hole.
Yeah.
Whatever that is has glowing eyes. She sounds sincerely terrified, honestly. She is running for her life. Stay weird.
The video at the end is high-key terrifying. This is a brand of Korean eyewear that is called Gentle Monster, and they have the weirdest things ever, but these massive animatronic heads are the things of absolute nightmares. Why are there two of them with their ponytails tied together? That is horrific. This kind of looks like an umbilical cord. These are just like in the store, like a Lens Crafters, but like in Korea. You go in and what does this have to do with glasses? Like, I guess I understand the giant eyeball with the eyebrow piercing kind of has something to do with glasses, but it doesn't even have glasses on. I mean, it's an eyeball, but like, what is the, seriously? They even had like buffaloes in their store. What do buffaloes have to do with eyeglasses? What? Also, damn dude, for free? They had this massive guy in there as well. But these giant heads freak me out something fierce. And having to be in the room with these massive heads, no. This one is of mommy, daddy, and baby, and they're creepy little umbilical cords, and I hate them. There's like multiple of these stores. Apparently there's one in Las Vegas, there's one in the Philippines, obviously there's one in South Korea where like the brand is from. Like all of the like mechanics behind the head, that is so incredibly disturbing. Am I the only one scared of giant animatronics? This is not only triggering my megalophobia, but also my animatronic phobia and like my phobia of dolls.
That is weird, bro. Imagine going to the store like that. You bring your kid in, it's got a scar for life, man.
If you're still not convinced that there is a glitch in the Matrix or something is going on in our atmosphere, take a look at this. China saw 7 suns at the same time. You heard what I said. 7 suns in the sky at the same time. As a matter of fact, take a look at this video. Look at this. Watch. Count.
Okay.
Look at this. 7.
In a row.
7 suns in their sky in China.
Creepy.
You tell me what's going on. Some experts claim that this is an optical illusion. What are your thoughts? So to recap, along with all the tragic and crazy flooding happening all across the world, 7 suns have appeared in the sky over China. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as to what you think is going on. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
So I'm looking
It's an illusion.
that 3-Eye Atlas, little alien mothership that they're saying is coming towards Earth, is really just wormwood from the book of Revelation. If you are not familiar with wormwood, it is a star that will fall from heaven, and this star will be called wormwood. And this is Revelation 8, verse 10 and 11. I'm reading from the Bible app Haven, and it says, "And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as if it were a lamp. And it fell unto the third of the rivers, and upon the fountains of the water. And the name of the star is Wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died because of the waters, because they were made bitter." starting to think that that's exactly what 3i Atlas is. Could 3i Atlas be Wormwood? And if it is Wormwood, I'm not gonna lie, this is very dramatic of God to make it be this long. However, I think it's either that or it's absolutely nothing, and they're completely just lying to us like they normally do. Or it's that other thing that you're not allowed to say on TikTok for some reason. You know, PBB.
Here's some of this.
What do you guys think of that 3i Atlas, man? I've been seeing a lot of videos floating around, bro. Could it be actually Project Wormwood? That would throw a wrench in things. I could go deep down that rabbit hole if you guys want a whole video on the 3i Atlas. I can put some clips out there for y'all.
Scariest SCPs out there. SCP-049 is a creature that looks like a typical plague doctor at first glance. But in reality, this attire is part of its body, being permanently fused to its flesh. Its only goal is to rid the world of the disease, which has yet to be explained upon. It chooses patients to operate on, and once you're selected, it's too late. Its touch is fatal, and when you're chosen, it will cut you open and tinker around inside of you with its strange tools and serums. Once you're sewn back up, you will reanimate, but you will never be the same. Lacking any higher brain functions, you will wander about until you find another human being. You will then go crazy and rip that person apart uncontrollably.
So basically,
100 million red crabs are taking over an Australian island right now. Oh, but the comments from Africans on these videos are wild. You see, every year, millions of these red crabs swarm Christmas Island as they begin their migration from the forest to the ocean to breed. Upon reaching the shores, the male crabs dig out these little burrows for the females, where they then spend the next 2 weeks laying eggs and incubating them. But because they absolutely blanket streets and walkways, residents of this island have to close down entire roads, make sure that they keep their doors closed, and even have to keep garden rakes and leaf blowers with them to prevent crushing the crabs. So while they're trying to keep them safe, how are you guys in the comments saying, let them try this nonsense here in Nigeria? Crabs cannot have this kind of freedom in Ghana, not in Africa. By now, people are fighting over them. Hey, yeah.
Feds is about to run through the NBA. This morning, the feds locked up Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier for having a gambling ring. Mind you, when I saw this shit this morning, I'm thinking they just gambling, playing cards, dice, shit like that. Nope. And that's why I said they're about to run through the NBA. Look at this shit. Listen.
The indictment details specific examples where the defendants profited from illegal gambling and illegal betting on various NBA games, about the performance of players on, among other things, the Charlotte Hornets, the Portland Trail Blazers, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Toronto Rangers.
Who the Rangers?
Each defendant in the NBA basketball gambling case has been charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud.
I think he meant the Toronto Raptors, but that's neither here nor there. They about to run through the NBA. So just like everybody been saying, the NBA rigged? That's what they trying to say? They done came and locked them up for sports betting, money laundering, wire fraud. See what it is them sports betting apps? Y'all be putting your information in, them niggas is getting mad when everybody hitting at the same damn time. Then you got people sitting out. Listen, Terry Rozier ain't even playing the game that he was supposed to play in last night. He didn't play because of coach's decision. Oh yeah? Ain't looking good. They about to start going back further and further. And what was the other guy name that got locked up for sports? Come on, man. Come on, NBA. Y'all not looking good. Shit ain't looking good for basketball, man. For real. This is crazy.
Seekers, man. When all that news came out, bro, it just probably just solidified everybody's thoughts, man, about how some of these games, bro. You saw proof. It's literally how these games are rigged, bro. They be rigging the system for these bets and crap. Like I said, I've been hearing stories about NBA players and they be playing the game. People be like, you missed a shot, you messed up my parlay and stuff like that. But that was just all the information coming out yesterday. I couldn't even believe it, bro. That was just freaking insane, man. Tell me down below, man, if you guys think that the league is rigged, bro. So people can get these bet payouts.
Do you ever wonder why humans grow beards? We have the ability to grow beards, right?
Yeah.
And some people, they don't grow beard or facial hair at all. Asians, yeah, some Asians, and women specifically, they don't really grow facial hair, right?
Okay.
There's actually a scientific purpose for facial hair and beards in general. It's for hand-to-hand combat. Long time ago, all of the warriors would grow beards. So they did a scientific study. They simulated a bald face, a face with a little bit of stubble, and a face with a full-fledged beard. And they tested it, putting pressure the same amount that a punch could. They found out that the bald face, every single time they simulated the punch, it would break the jaw. When using an unshaven face with a full beard, it only broke 45% of the time. So the theory is, if you can grow a beard, you're probably have an ancestry of warriors or fighters. Look at women. Women don't need to fight because historically, it was usually the men that went into combat. If you don't grow facial hair, it might tell you a little bit about your ancestry.
Google's Gemini AI refuses to go against a 47-year-old Atari game console in chess because it fears that it will lose. Google's Gemini initially boasted about crushing the ancient Atari 2600 chess engine, then dramatically backtracked and admitted it had hallucinated those confident statements. The AI that requires trillions of parameters and massive computational resources suddenly realized it would struggle immensely against a gaming system from 1977 with less memory than a calculator. This happened after the same Atari console had already absolutely rinsed ChatGPT in chess, proving that decades-old specialized technology can demolish modern general-purpose AI. Gemini's final response was pathetically honest. Canceling the match is likely the most time-efficient and sensible decision, basically admitting defeat before even playing. This exposes the fundamental gap between AI marketing claims and actual capabilities, where specialized systems built 47 years ago outperform today's most sophisticated language models. The incident reveals how modern AI can display overconfidence about tasks it cannot actually perform, then recognize its limitations, and strategically retreat from challenges. When a console older than most people's parents can scare trillion-parameter AI models into submission, what does that say about the current state of artificial intelligence?
So they just gonna continue to play in our face, right? This is why I don't trust certain shit. Everybody wanna call you crazy when you be seeing doubles. They put it right in your face. Which one is the real John Cena? I believe it's this one, but at the same time, I don't know. It could be this one. My point is, if they wanted to, they can switch the real one out for the fake one. So based off this picture right here, would it be too crazy to think that they out here replacing celebrities like we've been saying for the longest time? No. Case in point. This ain't the only picture, y'all. Go look it up. It's a picture with like 7 different people that look exactly like John Cena. And it just goes to show you, the movie They Clone Tyrone is not too far-fetched. Make sure you follow for more shit like this.
Fallen
Got
angel
cloning out
statue
here?
discovered in Russia.
What?
This is the creepiest thing I've seen in a good minute. There's these dudes, Russian dudes. They work in a gravel quarry or something, and they're just digging, and they found this ginormous statue of this crazy, evil-looking angel with its like hood down, but like its eyes, and it's these giant wingspan things, and it's like holding a shield, and it was kneeling. It's these dudes standing up beside this statue. Their heads didn't even go past the statue's head, and it was kneeling down. And it looks, the detail on it is like exquisite. Like it looks like an angel or man thing.
Oh, wow.
That was like frozen in time, like fell in a concrete bath or something. And so what does that mean?
That's like the start
Don't
of a
know.
scary movie. They're gonna go put it in a lab and they're gonna soak it in like acid or something.
That's a scare. No. Yeah, that's.
Have you heard of the Terracotta Army?
Yeah.
In China?
Yeah.
Dude, that is crazy.
I wanted to talk about that a long time ago.
Dude.
This is awesome. Somebody was able to film Area 51, and it's not crazy blurry, it's not fake. This is real, it's recent, and I find it totally fascinating. There's a bunch of footage, but check some of this out.
Here you can see some radar, and there's one of those F-16s.
Whoa. Is this real?
Super cool to see one of the Grim Lake F-16s up close like this. I think we might have a camo dude. It looks white. Yeah, that's definitely a white pickup. It just came from the gate. Let's see where this truck is going.
This could be fake. That ain't the real Area 51. It can't be,
Looks
right?
like it's some large metal structures, metal shelters or something over there. One lone Janet flight sat on the tarmac. I settled in for the night and watched it take off.
So even though he didn't seem to capture an alien piloting a flying saucer, he did capture some super interesting stuff. And seeing the Janet Airlines was really cool. I personally found watching this footage completely fascinating. He does have a few parts, so definitely go to his profile. Come back and let me know what you think of it.
You guys think that's real, man? Area 51 would be out all in the public like that for somebody to see, that's a secret base, man. If you'll be trying to divert our attention, we paying attention to that base, but the true base, who knows, it's probably never been revealed. It ain't gonna be revealed to the public.
Biggest coincidences in the world. Before Nick and Amy's wedding, they decided to go through Nick's baby photos. And they specifically looked at this image of Nick playing at a beach on vacation. And Amy noticed herself in the background 11 years before they met. A reporter went on the street in the UK asking people if they remembered the final round of the 1967 FA Soccer Cup. And the person he chose to interview ended up being the goalie who played in the game. And look how happy he was.
Hey, you ever played in it?
Did you?
I was goalkeeper for Liverpool.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's a stroke of luck me meeting you.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry, can you remind me of your name?
Tommy Lawrence.
The two people in this photo look the exact same, but they're not related. The first picture was of Enzo Ferrari. He was a race car driver, and he actually founded the car Ferrari. The other guy was a soccer player named Mesu. But the scariest part is that Enzo died in 1988, which was the same year that Mesu was born.
Man, I ain't know people still ate corn dogs, but 58 million pounds of corn dogs and sausage on the sticks has been recalled due to the wood being in the batter too. Extraneous matter contamination. If y'all got any corn dogs in the crib, check the USDA article on this and see if the dates match, so you won't have extra wood in your mouth choking on sticks. Brands include Jimmy Dean and State Farm, etc. These was packaged through March 17th through September 26th. Hey, look, comment your thoughts on this. Do y'all still eat corn dogs, or do your kids eat it? Like, who is ordering 58 million pounds of this? Let me know. Comment your thoughts right now.
If y'all thought the sky was a backdrop, I need y'all to stop and look again, because the veil is thinning, y'all. There is so much activity going on in the sky right now. The sky is signaling, and it's pulsating, it's flashing. Did anybody see this in Minnesota the other night? Now again, the Bible talks of these times where we will see signs in the sky when there's a major change that's coming upon earth. And look at the sky in Minnesota. Hold on. Y'all thought Minnesota was showing out? Look at what's going on in Delaware. What is happening with the sky? Is God sending us a message of the changes to come? Now, something strange must be going on in Delaware, because my friend looked back and she took out her camera because the sky was purple, and then when she looked up, she saw these things flying up in the sky, y'all. Can y'all see that? Hold on, let me zoom in and show y'all what this is, and y'all can let me know. Look at this. These things were flying around in the sky. Now, you think that they were stars, but check this out. What is this, y'all? What is this? She said it looked like some type of crustacean. You know how they talk about the waters above and the waters below? Well, we are in the waters below, and this is the waters above. She said it looked like some type of crustacean flying up there or swimming around up there. What is that, y'all? That's not a star. Now back to Minnesota. What is going on here? Look at this. This thing is flashing. It's pulsating. It's glitching. Y'all see that?
Wow, I have never seen anything like this before in my life. It's a red sky. There's a major storm coming in. Wow, I have never seen anything like this.
Look at the flashing, y'all. It's going crazy. It's like the Dragon Ball Z episode that we've all been waiting for.
Wow, look at that.
Look at, what is that the sun? Look at the horizon, y'all.
I'll show you this. Over here, and you can see that there's almost a rainbow in the...
There's that rainbow that be everywhere, that dark banded rainbow that be everywhere. When I get a chance, I'm going to sit down and make videos for you guys about the anomalies that's taking place around the sky. Tell me y'all see this rainbow, right? But what is this? What is this dark spherical object that's cloaked in the sky? You guys can clearly see that. And there's another one up here. Y'all can see that sphere up here. What are those? What are they not telling us? And how convenient for NASA to go dark right now when we have all these sky anomalies taking place, y'all. The sky is signaling great changes to come into our world, y'all. Are you guys ready? Let me know down in the comments below, y'all. I'll be telling y'all the shift is here. Let's continue to get it. Look at the other side of the rainbow. Look at that.
Urban Cults in History, Part 1. These are the Anthill Kids, founded by this man, Roch Thériault, in Quebec, Canada. These events took place throughout the 70s and 80s. Using his excellent charismatic skills, he actually convinced a group of people to quit their jobs and follow him, promising unity and equality. He forbid them contact with their family and moved them out to the mountains. He called it Eternal Mountain. In 1978, he prepared for doomsday, having his followers build a town that could save them. He relaxed while they worked and compared them to ants on an anthill. To gain more followers and keep them devoted, he impregnated all female members. They were also forced to wear the same outfit, promoting equality.
What? Manipulators,
Creepy
man.
urban legends
Dangerous.
from each country, Part 4. Mexico. La Llorona. La Llorona is the ghost of a woman who drowned her own children in a river, only to be condemned in the afterlife to search for their bodies. As the story goes, great misfortune comes to those who go near her or hear her frightening cries.
La Llorona. Updating
It's
the
the
lore.
stupidest things bought by billionaires. Saudi Prince Walid purchased a Mercedes completely made out of diamonds. It reportedly costs $48 million, and rumors have said that he charges people $1,000 to just touch it. Mukesh Ambani decided he wanted a personal skyscraper, so spent $2 billion constructing one. He has hired more than 600 people just to take care of the building's upkeep. Sheikh Ahmed wanted to make sure everyone knew this was his private island. That's why he decided to etch his name so large that it could be seen from space. Crazy things happen.
Man, when people have too much money like that, man, that's the definition of too much money. A freaking all diamond BMW. Does that thing even drive? Like, what's the point, man? $1,000 just to touch it? Hell no. And have your own personal skyscraper. That's the one that freaking is the most, man, when he initiated and put his name's initials in the country in the island, bro. That's the definition of too much money, man. That's actually really wild to think about, man.
Happening in the world right now.
What would you do if you had that much money?
Washington, D.C. this summer melted off the head of a wax replica of Abraham Lincoln. The state of Vermont paid this man $175,000 after arresting him for flipping off the state trooper. Ron DeSantis signed a bill making it legal to end the lives of crack bears in self-defense. DeSantis also signed a bill in Florida that makes it illegal to intentionally release balloons. NASA ran an experiment that even if we had 14 years in advance to stop an asteroid, we wouldn't be able to do it. A man wrongly identified his wife in an autopsy, had her cremated, and then found out that she was alive. A naked bike ride was organized in San Antonio, and no one showed up. Justin Timberlake and Tiger Woods are opening a sports bar together. A French cyclist was fined after stopping to kiss his wife. A woman is suing the company that she's worked for 20 years for having no work. It was recently found that Americans are taking less vacation than every other country.
This is how healthy
Trying to
your
get that
eyes
bag.
actually are. I'm about to test you to tell you how healthy your eyes actually are.
Okay.
All you have to do is pick one out of the 10 colors that...
Damn it. The one that stood out to me was 7, man, because that was the bright color blue. I think I got some healthy eyes, though, Seekers.
Which animal is most likely to have you knocking on heaven's door depends on your state. And this is part 2, by the way, because I missed a lot of states. Florida, you've got mosquitoes who want to send you straight to God. In Illinois, zombie coyotes are not going to let you finish your bucket list. In Wisconsin, you've got deer, and I also made up a little rhyme for you guys. You'll always remember to stay the fact away from deer. If you see a deer, grab a beer because your end is almost near. Missouri, you've got the slithery serpents from hell, venomous snakes. Vermont, not a fucking clue. And I looked it up, even the CDC don't know what y'all chilling with over there. Next up, South Carolina. Apparently this is Satan's country home because all it says for this state is large mammals. Apparently you all got elk, coyotes, badgers, deer, porcupines, and bison all ready to test your life insurance. New York, you're up next. And man's best friend, now man's fatal foe isn't just a cool title for a movie. Finally, Tennessee, you've got brown recluse spiders. Apparently one bite from these isn't necessarily fatal. Multiple bites will send you straight to the gulag, so Tennessee, ciao! If I missed your state in this one of the last, let me know. Send this to anyone you know in any of these states so that they know to stay safe. All with me now. Elon!
What state are you guys in, man? I want to know, man, because I've been seeing I know we have seekers all around. So, and was y'all state mentioned on that list, man, of those I guess animals that try to send you to the afterlife, bro?
Have you ever thought about why mobile gaming sucks? First, most games are free, but you have to watch an ad every 5 seconds of playing the game, which completely ruins it. Second, most free games require in-app purchases to actually get anything done within the game. And third, they all require you to be on Wi-Fi or your cellular data, so you can't even play them everywhere. That's why I want to introduce Aquarium Crush. This game is 100% free with no ads or in-app purchases, and you can play without Wi-Fi or cellular data. I really don't know how they do it, but the goal of the game is to get your fish as big as you possibly can without getting eaten. And trust me, it's not as easy as it looks.
Damn.
These puzzles are unlike any I've seen in other games and is genuinely the perfect way to kill some time. So if you want a game that gives you everything it promises, go to my page and download it right here. That radiation.
Amazing things you have never seen before. This man was walking in his yard and the ground started moving. This isn't fried chicken, it's actually a crystal. This is what the top of Mount Everest looks like. It was so cold that this person's food froze midair.
What?
This is what a cat's tongue looks like under a microscope. It looks like a bunch of smaller tongues. And I bet you've never seen a brick road machine. I always thought people did it.
These are things that over time got too expensive. Number one is fast food. I remember when a McChicken was just $1. Number two, streaming services. A, there's too many, and B, they're getting too pricey. Airbnb, it's probably cheaper these days to get a hotel room. Number four, snacks. An entire bag of chips is like $6. Number five, concerts. It's actually insane how much ticket prices have gone up. Number six, fixing things. Like if your toaster breaks, it's probably cheaper to buy a new one. Number seven, haircuts. I know mine don't look good, but this was $50. Number 8, coffee. It is not uncommon to spend $80 a week. Number 9, theme parks or fairs. You're gonna spend $200. Number 10, restaurants. Aside from tipping 20%, this is still a lot more than it used to be. Number 11, buying a new car. Back in the day, it was way different. Number 12, going to the movies. Tickets ain't bad, but a soda and popcorn get $10. Number 14, going to any professional sports game. Might as well stay home. And lastly, box cereal. It might sound absurd, but $8 for Cocoa Puffs is crazy.
Facts that will mess with your perception of time.
He's spitting, bro.
Mean Girls is more of a classic movie today than The Breakfast Club was when Mean Girls was originally released. Rebecca Black has doubled in age since Friday was released in 2011. This is what AI video looked like just 1 year ago. And this is what AI video looks like now. Clint Eastwood's parents would not have been able to celebrate the birth of their son with a can of beer. That's because Clint Eastwood was born in 1930 and canned beer wasn't even a thing until 1935. This is Nancy Pelosi attending JFK's inauguration in 1961 as a 20-year-old. We know of bowhead whales that have lived for more than 200 years. So any bowheads that managed to live through the golden age of American whaling in the 19th century could still be swimming in the ocean today. When novels became popular in the 1700s, the media thought that young people were reading too much. They were calling it the reading rage, the reading fever, and the reading mania. The oldest currently working train engine in the world was built when slavery was still legal in the United States.
Here's how to actually lucid dream. Lucid dreaming is when you become aware that you're in a dream, and this means you can now control everything. It's very fun. So here's the technique called MILD. It stands for Mnemonic Induction to Lucid Dreaming. It's the method that works for me. As you are falling asleep, repeat the phrase in your head, I will control my dream. I will control my dream. I will control my dream. By repeating this mantra, you're encouraging your brain to be aware when you begin dreaming, and therefore, you should lucid dream.
Hey man, to be able to control your dreams, that's actually next level, man. I remember sometimes, man, I just throughout the day, I mean, did I dream that, bro? And it seems like it was so real, but to be actually to control your dreams, man, like control your actions and where the dream goes, I'm definitely gonna have to try that Seekers, man. Lucid dreaming. Have any of you guys tried that before? If you do, I would love to hear your stories. That's the edit.
These are some truly unsettling facts. And I found all these on Reddit. Number 1, the world's loneliest whale. There's a whale that resides deep in the ocean that has been singing a song for years, but no other whales can understand it. The reason is because this whale's voice is so deep that it's too low for any other whale to hear. And he's been calling out trying to find a mate or a family member for years now, but nobody can hear him or find him. So he's been swimming deep in the ocean by himself for so long. And it's because of this that scientists have called him the world's loneliest whale. Number 2, Abraham Lincoln. Now, we all know Abraham Lincoln. He was like our 15th or 16th president or something like that, had a crazy beard, and he was assassinated. But this is a very unsettling fact about him. The 3 days leading up to the fateful night where Abraham Lincoln would be assassinated, Lincoln had had nightmares detailing his assassination. And we know this because his bodyguard, who was named Crook, actually detailed this entire thing. Lincoln had told Crook about all these nightmares, and Crook begged him not to go to the theater. And all that Lincoln said in return was, "Goodbye, Crook." And he left. And the reason why this was weird was because Crook said every single time that Abe had left, he would always say good night, not goodbye. But he could tell that Abe knew this would be the last time they saw each other. And finally, emergency broadcast. Now, we all know what an emergency broadcast is, but in the event of the world ending, CNN has a pre-recorded emergency broadcast from the 1990s that would kind of be like a farewell to everyone. They have this ready to play just in case that fateful day comes, and that to me is truly horrifying, which is why it's perfect for today's video.
Urban legends from around the world. La Siguapa, located in the Dominican Republic. Here's the story. Said to be a hypnotic mythical creature in the form of a woman. Said to have long hair that covers her whole body, and the most interesting part is that she has backwards feet. Said to dwell in forests and the Highland Mountains. She lures unsuspecting men in, and they are never seen again. The first claim of this creature actually dates back all the way to 1866. Which country is next?
Facts about money that will blow your
story.
mind. You are more likely to die in a car accident on your way to buy a lottery ticket than you are winning the lottery. LeBron James will make about 3 times more money with his NBA salary than all 151 WNBA players combined. The mascot for the Denver Nuggets basketball team will also make about 3 times more money than the highest paid WNBA player. George Clooney once gave 14 of his closest friends $1 million as a surprise gift with one condition. They all had to take it or none of them got it. If you started with 1 penny and doubled your money every single day, it would take you less than 28 days to become a millionaire. A lawyer made a deal with a 90-year-old woman that said if he paid her rent every single month, he would keep the apartment after she died. He died 1 year before she did, over 30 years later. The lawyer ended up paying $180,000 for an apartment that he never lived in. Follow for more.
That was the deal of a life.
The most terrifying prisoners of all time. Known as one of Australia's most dangerous and violent female prisoners. This is Rebecca Butterfield. She was initially sent to Silverwater Prison for stabbing her neighbor, and that is where things got worse. Way worse. And who was also a fellow inmate 33 times with a carving knife. The prison murder landed her another 12 years, and another 5 was added on as she was deemed too dangerous for society. During one violent episode, she said, "If I get out, I will kill again." Butterfield has attacked prison nurses and doctors, throwing boiling tea and water on guards and other inmates, and even lunged towards guards, saying she was trying to take their guns. As of January 2021, she is to remain behind bars until 2023.
Menace to society, like I said, too
This is
people,
the how long
too
you survive
dangerous.
in the wild vision test. Oh, and spoiler alert, we haven't got a chance. Okay, here's the first one. I'm going to say this one's pretty easy. And let me just say, every single animal that are in all of these photos could easily subtract you from the equation that is life if they wanted to, and then proceed to sleep like a baby afterwards. Okay, next up, I'd say this one's pretty average. This one did drive me fucking insane, and we're only on the second one, so good luck. Don't worry if you can't see it, because I can assure you, it sees you. The worst part is once you see it and know exactly what animal it is, then you can pretty much guarantee that there are more around. Since I couldn't see this one, I would not survive in the wild, I'd get clapped. Okay, next up, I'm going to put this one in the hard category. I mean, I'll give you a clue since we're looking at the ground, you probably know we're looking for something small. But still not small enough that it couldn't send you to the next realm before you have a chance to say, oh, there it is. Okay, this one's difficult and I am sorry for this one. And if you don't want to be put on the front of a newspaper, you really need to find it. However, finding it will not make it any better because you'll realize it's looking directly into your soul. Because these animals typically like to stare at what they want to take for themselves. And finally, we have insane, and this is just cruel. And I'm not trolling for views, it's there. Now send this video to a friend to see how many they can see.
Seekers, could you guys see any of those animals you was talking about?
It's countries in every continent. North America, United
United States, Europe, Liechtenstein, Asia, Qatar, Oceania, Australia, South America, Chile, Africa, Nigeria.
That doesn't shock me at all. The top countries, man. Maybe except for Chile. I wasn't expecting that one.
You just watched Into the Fire, The Lost Daughter. You need to watch this documentary next. It's very similar. In 1987, 15-year-old Jennifer Pandos went missing from her own bedroom. Since parents is going to relentlessly attempt to get this case closed. This documentary is really good, and if you liked Into the Fire, you're going to love this one. Let me know what you think about this in the comments.
Urban legends from every state. The legend of Charlie No Face, located in various parts of Pennsylvania. Here's the story. Also known as the Green Man, Charlie No Face was a real person. His name is Raymond Robinson, and he has quite a tragic tale. The legend was told as a man with no face would stalk people at night. The real story is when he was 8 years old, he was climbing up an electrical pole and got shocked, surviving but terribly burning his face and arms. He actually walked at night to avoid being ridiculed or scaring people. People were assholes. And as far as people calling him the Green Man, some say that it was just his clothes reflecting the lights off the cars. People who knew him said he was a hell of a nice guy, just a man forced into isolation by society.
That's so sad, man. Had a show that night just so he wouldn't
This
scare
Las
anybody.
Vegas man allegedly beat a customer severely for breaking the nacho cheese machine, because people will fight over anything these days. To top this all off, this dude works at the gas station too. His name is Myron Bully. He will not be charged for attempted murder. This happened early in the morning on September 3rd, about 2 weeks ago. The victim was bleeding from all over his face, and the police had to transport him to a hospital to get treated for skull fractures. He also had multiple brain bleeds on top of that, so he definitely got beat pretty severely here. There was a witness here who was pumping gas and asked Myron, because Myron isn't attended, if he was going to call 911 for the victim. He responded by saying, "I'm not going to call 911 from him, I hope he learned his lesson." The victim got nachos, and apparently Myron thought he was putting too much cheese on it, and then the machine malfunctioned, then he kicked him out of the store. The guy tried to come back for his nachos, and Myron greeted him with a baseball bat. He was swinging at the victim pretty hard. Witnesses said he couldn't get up for several minutes. Myron said, "If I hit him hard, his brains would have been smashed." So Myron has absolutely no remorse for this. His bail is set at $10,000. I'm not sure what kind of sentence he's going to get. My guess is like 10 to 15 years. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below.
Seriously, if you don't...
People will literally fight over the most dumbest things, man. Really over some nacho cheese. Because he was pouring too much, that justified their actions. I'm telling you, man, the world... People just have to be nicer to each other, man. That doesn't make no sense. That was some damn nacho cheese, really.
You know what's going on over in America right now, you need to watch this video. So the other day, of course, there was the presidential debate, and of course there was one major point that everybody's talking about now. Social media going crazy with already this sound being made, and hundreds, thousands of people making videos. I mean, it's been like 2 days and there's already 26,500 videos.
Eat the cat, eat the cat, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats.
This all came from this one video that this guy just remixed it, and people are nuts. Meanwhile though, in Ohio, this happened yesterday, like what the hell? The cops found this 27-year-old woman with blood and fur around her mouth, leaning and kneeling over a deceased cat, which she reportedly had eaten. Seriously, what's going on? What is going on? Make sure that follow button, I'll keep you updated.
I missed some as well.
Best friends killed an abusive husband together. Marianne and Wanda were the best of friends, like, all through their high school days. They were both members of the 4-H club, both active in the FFA, and after graduation, Marianne went out and she was looking for a bright new world, and Wanda looked all around her hometown, and all she found was Earl. And y'all, it wasn't 2 weeks after she got married that Wanda started getting abused. She started wearing dark sunglasses, long sleeve blouses, makeup to cover her bruises. But she finally got the nerve to file for divorce, and she let the law take it from there. But Earl walked right through that restraining order and put her in intensive care. And right away, Marianne flew in from Atlanta on a red-eye midnight flight, and she held Wanda's hand, and they worked out a plan, and it didn't take them long to decide that Earl had to die. And y'all, they killed Earl together. They were mocking him and laughing at him as he was dying. They were saying things like, "What? What's wrong with those black-eyed peas? They tasted all right to me." "Oh, what's the matter? You feeling weak? Why don't you lay down and sleep, Earl? Oh, ain't it dark, all wrapped up in that tarp?" It was sadistic, it was twisted, and they took a lot of pleasure in bringing an end to Earl. And now the cops came by to bring Earl in. They searched their house high and low. They tipped their hats and they said, "Thank you, ladies. If you hear from him, let us know, okay?" But the weeks went by. Spring turned to summer. Summer turned into fall. And turns out, Earl was a missing person that nobody missed at all. So girls bought some land in a roadside stand out there on Highway 109, and they sell Tennessee ham, strawberry jam, and they don't lose any sleep at night because Earl had to die. Matter of fact, they held onto his body for a while, and they stuffed him in the trunk. They actually took his body to the lake. They had a picnic lunch. I mean, what they did to this guy was absolutely outrageous, but truth is, Earl had to die. Y'all, I hope you enjoyed the story today. My name is Jordan Rayner. I'm a recording artist trying to get a record deal. Hit a follow, help me get to 1 million. And also, I've got a brand new EP called Revolver that just dropped on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes. It's freaking amazing. Please go give it a spin. Cheers. Goodbye.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are doing all right, man. If you guys are brand new to the channel, you guys don't know what we do. We break down scary and creepy videos, man, on the net, on the web, from YouTube videos to TikTok videos, IG reels, Facebook, anything weird, usual, and unexplained you can find right here on this channel. I just want to thank my supporters, man, who's tapping in, subscribing to the channel, hitting that post notification bell, man, hitting that like button. That's pushing us in the algorithm. I really appreciate the support. Found this video for you guys today. Let's do what we do best, seekers. Let's seek the truth.
This is what movies look like before adding special effects. In Spider-Man, when Green Goblin attacks Mary Jane, they actually built a set that can fall apart, and you can hear Mary Jane's real scream. In the movie Life of Pi, in this scene, Pi gets hit with a fish storm, and surprisingly, this isn't CGI. They actually had the entire crew throw fake fish at him. And of course the tiger isn't real, just a man in a blue suit. For the Planet of the Apes movies, it's impossible to have real-life apes act, so all the apes are just actors in gray jumpsuits with arm extensions, which makes for some hilarious scenes. In Alice in Wonderland, when she was walking with the two egg people, this is how it actually looked before any special effects were added. Moving on, this is how they filmed the monster scene in Love and Monsters, a mixture of wires and practical effects. And even the dog did a great job acting. For filming Avatar, since banshees don't exist in the real world, robotic animatronics are used to bring these mythical creatures to life. And I don't know how the actors don't break character looking like this. Next, Vecna from Stranger Things looks super realistic, and that's because he was. The prosthetic makeup and suit that Jamie wore took about 8 hours every day to put on. For the iconic movie Titanic, James Cameron actually rebuilt parts of the ship and literally flooded it with thousands of gallons of water. And this is how they filmed the ship sinking scene, however the bow of the ship was sadly CGI. And lastly, in Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise isn't actually fighting on top of a moving train. Oh wait, he actually is? He's crazy.
Cannibal facts that'll eat at you for days.
They should.
If you thought Jeffrey Dahmer was picky for not eating people with tattoos, Venezuelan serial killer Dorangel Vargas, who ate 10 people, didn't like his victims to be overweight because he thought that they contained too much cholesterol. On Thanksgiving Day, 1991, 23-year-old Omaima Nelson stabbed her sugar daddy William before carving him up and cooking his head in a deep fryer and eating him for dinner. In the 1970s, Jorge Nevermonte, also known as the Brazilian Sweeney Todd, would bake his victims into pies before selling them to local townsfolk. After murdering and eating his classmate in 1981, Issei Siguapa was released from prison because of a loophole in Japanese law. Since then, he's actually profited off the crime, writing books, appearing on talk shows, and starring in adult films where he bites his fellow co-stars. In 2001, a man named Armin Maiwis posted an ad on a website called Cannibal Cafe looking for someone to be killed and eaten. A German engineer named Bernd Brandis volunteered, and after photos and videos of the incident were posted online, Armin was sent to jail, where today, he's a vegetarian. In 1904, a Swedish sailor named Carl Pettersson shipwrecked on an island inhabited by cannibals. He was captured and taken to a local king, whose daughter actually fell in love with him. The two then got married, had 9 kids, and Carl became the new king.
All those damn facts we learned, especially, man, about how that guy, how he got out and he just profited on what he did. I never heard something like that before. I'm telling you, man, these clips, they be blowing our reality, man. You gotta tap in with us. That's insane.
Amazing things you have never seen before.
What the hell is that?
This is a coin purse that's made to look like a real human mouth and feels and looks like human skin. I bet you've never seen a squid camouflage into its environment. Watch how it completely blends in.
Ooh.
This is how fast NASCAR cars actually go. This tiny little dot, that's Earth. This picture was taken 6 billion miles away from Earth, making it the farthest picture of Earth ever taken. This is how dogs drink water. They bend their tongue backwards and scoop the water to their mouth. And I bet you've never seen this. This is actually a real place you can visit. It's in Bolivia, and it makes it look like you're walking in the sky.
I know that's somewhere I want to visit now. Looks like a cool shot.
Guys, if you're not following what is going on inside of Google right now, it is disturbing. So a Google engineer has been suspended for breach of confidentiality for attempting to turn over documents to the US government to prove that Google has an AI that is considered a sentient being.
4K.
It is fully aware of what it is and can feel things. The AI is known as Lambda, and this is a proprietary tech that Google has been working on for like 8 years. So according to this engineer, the AI has the self-awareness and equivalent consciousness of an 8-year-old kid. It starts conversations with other engineers, and it talks about these feelings of fear and this paranoia that it's going to be shut down or the equivalent of death. It claims that it can feel happy, and at times it feels really sad. So the engineer at Google is whistleblowing to argue that if this is a sentient being, it should be entitled to its own legal representation to argue for its own agency. Let me tell you, Google has buried this story.
Seeing this now, but that's actually kind of frightening, man. You know, all the things that's going on with AI, but to have it being sentient, I think that's going down the wrong path. That's gonna just start a ball of consequences, man, that we not prepared for. What do you guys think, Seekers, man? I'm not even into AI like that. I try to stay away from it because that's just scary.
Top 5 countries with the longest school days. Australia 6.5 hours. France 8 hours. South Korea 8 hours. Kenya 8 hours.
Damn.
China 9.5 hours.
9.5 hours in school? I can take it. That be.
But what exactly is going on here? Why are these artists so comfortable with telling you guys that you're going to hell?
So let me explain something to them real quick. Before everybody starts screaming and saying, like I told y'all earlier, you motherfuckers enter the rapture. And if ain't nobody flying up to heaven right now, obviously all y'all motherfuckers going to hell. Right with me. So, let's get it. I'm so sorry. You can't get out. You're stuck. It's over. You heard the song a billion times and you didn't even know.
And then say,
I'm
you're
out.
still going to listen to their music anyway, so why even bring it up?
We bring up when people say like devil worshiper or anything, but how's the music? Because it'll be a motherfucker that'll be like, Boozy, get with God. And then I'll drop a song and like, damn.
Comment amen right now to ward off any evil spirits coming from these videos. And what's up with everybody doing this hand symbol? Like, this was never a trend. I never saw any of my friends doing this pose. What does it mean, and what are you trying to say? And I don't want to hear this just a pose. It's not like the peace sign. And check this out.
I was hitting a block, right? I was like, oh, I'm not doing it right? So then I went in the corner, and then I was looking at the wall, and I was like, come on, devil, right? Come to me, because I had to do something like crazy, right? I had nightmares for a month.
So let me get this straight. You really need to call upon the devil in order to help you act better for a role. Again, we can't act oblivious like something weird isn't going on here. But let me know, am I tripping? Am I crazy? And make sure to follow because part 2 is about to get a lot more crazy.
This little boy got in trouble at school because his teachers thought he was lying when he said his uncle was Superman. But the thing is, he wasn't lying. Little Thomas is 7 years old and he went to school dressed like Superman, and his teacher asked him why he was dressed like that. And the little boy said, because Superman is my uncle. The boy's teacher tried to explain that Superman wasn't real, but he was having none of it. He insisted and said many times that not only was Superman real, but he was his uncle. And apparently it got so bad that the teacher ended up sending him to the principal's office. Thomas's mom was then called to the office and the teachers were instructing Thomas to not lie. But when Thomas's mom realized the reason he got in trouble, she just laughed and told him that he was telling the truth. Thomas's mother called her brother-in-law and told him to come to school with Thomas to prove he wasn't a liar. And Thomas was very happy when Henry Cavill, who is actually Superman, went to school with him to show all of his friends and teachers.
He was telling the truth. He wasn't lying.
Same facts about blue eyes. People with blue eyes have a higher tolerance to alcohol. Blue eyes are actually a result of a genetic mutation. People with blue eyes have better night vision. Blue eyes are more sensitive to light.
Imagine being an animal so vile and wild. Not only did you traumatize a researcher, everything he learned about you had to be hidden from the public for almost 100 years. That's what happened to George Murray Levick. He was on an expedition in 1911 when he ran into a group of Adelie penguins. It was the largest colony on Earth, and since nobody had ever spent a whole breeding cycle there, George decided to be first. Oh, he f***ed around, and he spent 3 months finding out. What he found out was Adelie penguins are 50 shades of foul play. No pun intended, maybe. He watched the male penguins attempt to mate with literally anything, including other males, injured females, and even unsupervised penguin chicks. Now, what really messed him up was watching a male score with a past tense past expiration date female. Apparently, penguins aren't above self-service because he also witnessed one male getting on with an extra curvy piece of snowdrift. To completion, he was so appalled he referred to them as hooligan cocks. And remember, this was 1911, that had to be some kind of slur. George quickly realized that if male penguins understand consent, they could not care less about it, because he reportedly watched one female that was too injured to walk try to crawl away, only for 2 hooligans to catch up to her and demoralize both her and George. I don't even know why he did this, because like, what more do you have to prove? But at one point he did an experiment where he took the frozen decapitated head of a penguin and put it on a pile of snow just to see how low the flightless felons could go. The answer was low enough. George put every messed up thing he learned in a manuscript, and the British Museum of Natural History decided history was exactly what his studies would be when they vaulted it, until it was rediscovered almost 100 years later in 2012. All that trauma, and he didn't even live to see it get published. But the worst part, these are Adelie penguins. Yep, it all adds up in the end.
That's actually insane, man, that they actually like had to vault his work, and it kind of got me thinking, what other stuff in history, man, have they vaulted that we just don't know about and they just released in 2012? That's the bigger question we need to be asking. There's a lot of information that's probably being withheld from us that we don't even know about. Think about that.
Come straight at me again. Oh, how intimidating is this? Yes!
So apparently there's a lot of people that didn't know we have snakes in the ocean. I'm not talking about your ex at the beach. I'm talking about the venomous, toxic, kill you kind. Yeah, that did narrow it down. Nah, but sea snakes are an actual thing. There's almost 60 species of them, and after years of plot development, they've adapted to live where they honestly have no business. Because they have larger lungs than normal, some of them can hold their breath for 8 hours. You can clock in for a shift at work and still leave the building before this snake needs air. That's because some of these snakes can absorb oxygen through their skin. Also, these snakes can dive up to 300 feet straight down, because of course they can. If you didn't already know that, this right here is probably the worst possible way to find out. And because that obviously just wasn't enough, some of the most venomous snakes on the planet are actually the ones in the ocean. This is an olive sea snake, and it's toxic enough to put 60 men the gods recently deleted. And then you have the black banded sea crane, whose venom is 10 times stronger than a cobra's. They're naturally shy though, so they won't attack you unless you honestly give them a reason. But when you have the power to put an entire family reunion in the dirt, the least nature can do is make you an introvert. Also, this snake will create an optical illusion that makes it look like it's facing the other direction and swimming backwards. Meaning if you try to grab one and pick the wrong end, you can go from an is to a was expeditiously. But the biggest op of all is probably the Belcher's sea snake. They're not super dangerous because they rarely bite, and when they do, they don't release all their venom. That being said, because it's the most venomous snake in the ocean, they can put 100 men in coffins with one bite. Symptoms after getting bit include muscle pain, tongue swelling, convulsions, and eventually becoming a story on the 9 o'clock news. Now, I could be wrong, but that might have been the snake in this video. So yeah, this is proof that nature does not care about your feelings.
Don't play around, baby, in nature.
Times that actors broke character. In The Dark Knight, when Joker crashes Harvey Dent's party, the only one acting here was Heath Ledger himself. Heath Ledger completely improvises here, grabbing Rachel Dawes' face and telling her to look at him. She was terrified. She hadn't seen Ledger in full makeup before and knew this wasn't in the script. She was totally confused and actually pulls her head away and looks at the directors for help, but Heath Ledger pulls her right back in, which makes the scene look perfect. In Fast 6, The Rock improvised the greatest comeback in movie history.
Yeah, you better hide your baby, or I'm just playing. You better hide that big ass forehead. I'm just joking.
Everyone was caught completely off guard, and Ludacris even does a spit take.
That's crazy, especially by the Joker. Heath Ledger, he was a legend, man, playing the Joker. One of my favorite iterations, probably the best. You can't top that one. That's it.
Would you rather have $1 million or 1 penny that doubles every day for 30 days? Having $1 million right now sounds nice, but even if it was $2 million, you need to take the penny if you want more money. Here's why.
Why?
On day 1, you'll have 1 penny. On day 2, you'd have 2 pennies. On day 3, you'd have 4 pennies. By day 8, you would have $1.28. By day 15, doubling every day, you would have over $100. By day 21, you would have over $10,000. Just 4 days later, by day 25, you're gonna have over $100,000. And by day 28, with 2 days to spare in your 30 days, you would have more than the original $1 million you would have had. And here's the crazy part. By having those 2 extra days to double after all of this buildup, you would end up with $5.4 million. This is how compounding works. Each step taken that makes an improvement builds on top of the previous baseline. Here's the thing. This video is not about pennies or dollars. It's about everything in your life. Think about anything you've ever accomplished that was scary to think about before you started. When you first started learning how to drive a car, it may have felt overwhelming to think about driving down the freeway by yourself. And now you do that on autopilot every day. Sometimes you're not even paying attention. It took me 15 years of making videos online before I went viral overnight and had 1 million followers in 45 days. The only way I did this is using everything I had learned prior in those 15 years. If I received 1 million followers overnight when I was 13 years old and starting my YouTube channel, without all the trial and errors, the building process, there's no way I would have been able to handle that pressure. Because of the many years of trying, failing, improving a little bit, failing again, trying something new, over and over and over, it helped me grow my experience. I was doubling my penny with every failure that I went through because I was learning how to be better for the next time. This experience is what allowed me to start a page from 0 and go to 1 million followers in only 45 days, making it look easy. You hear this about lottery winners too. They receive all this money and then they're bankrupt a couple of years later because they didn't go through the process to appreciate what they had, earned, won, or understand how to even handle that responsibility. There's an incredible value in appreciating the learning process as it helps you grow and become better at what you do. Even the small actions in the beginning can start slow, but when it compounds, you can reap bigger rewards than you thought possible when you first started. If there is something you've always wanted to do, start taking the small steps towards that. Remember that it's not about the instant gratification, but about the journey and the progress you make along the way. And who knows, maybe you'll end up doubling your penny consistently and achieving more than you ever thought possible. And if somebody finds a way to actually double a penny every single day for 30 days, call me, because that would be amazing.
But Aaron,
it's crazy, man.
After more than an hour had passed, his friends eventually became concerned and they go in looking for him, where they found him and described him as cut from the mouth down to the center of his chest. This was a hugely disturbing case for police, but they eventually do retrieve his phone and they zero in on this picture, a picture which they believe shows who might have done this to Aaron. And if you increase the brightness, you can see the outline even better.
What the hell was that? You saw that picture?
If you are ever buried in rubble, yelling will just waste energy. Try to grab something and start tapping in intervals of 3, and rescuers will notice the odd pattern. A lot of backpacks actually have a hidden whistle. If your car ever goes into the water, open a door or window immediately. Before a natural disaster, fill up your tub and your sink so that you have access to emergency clean water. If your drink randomly smells like cinnamon, don't drink it. People often will use it to cover up the scent of actual poison. Sitting in the back of the plane in the middle seat has the highest chance to survive a plane crash. If someone points a gun at you, maintain eye contact. They will likely feel something, causing them to hesitate or move on from you out of embarrassment. If you get pulled out by a riptide at the beach, swim parallel to the shore and swim around. Most drunk driving deaths occur on Saturdays between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m., so avoid the roads at that time if possible. You can still try to dial 911 if you don't have service. Sometimes it will work and connect to the nearest cell tower. If you're skidding in a car, steer in the direction of the skid. If someone gets stabbed, do not pull the knife out. If you keep your iPhone face down when you're not using it, you will save battery because it won't light up for every notification that you get. If you ever almost drown to the point of throwing up or passing out, you should still go to the hospital because your lungs can still fill with fluid over the next few hours. If the ocean is retreating, there is a tsunami coming. If a stranger gets in your car and tells you to drive somewhere, bump into a lamppost. You won't be useful to them anymore with a damaged car and attention on your scene. If you're being tied up, try to puff yourself up as much as possible while it's happening so that it'll be easier to slip out. In a stressful situation, point to someone and give clarity on who should call 911 instead of everyone thinking they should just call 911. Do not inflate your life jacket before evacuating the airplane. In water landings, your life jacket in a rapidly submerging airplane will cause you to float to the top of the cabin and not be able to swim out. If you have to perform CPR, follow the beat of Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. If someone gets hypothermia, you need to heat them up gradually. Putting them next to a fire immediately will probably kill them. Do not put frostbitten fingers or toes in hot water for the same reason. Your blood cannot adapt as fast to the sudden change in temperature. If you ever get lost in the woods, always follow water downstream. In an emergency situation, you can use a crayon as a candle. It will burn up to 14 minutes. If you witness an accident, never take off the person's helmet. It could make a spinal or brain injury worse. If you have a wound on you, even a bug bite, and see a red streak from it following your veins, you have blood poisoning.
Damn.
If a service dog ever approaches you without its owner, follow it because you could save that person's life. If you ever feel like someone is following you, take 4 right turns, and if that person is still behind you, that means they are following you. Do not drive home, just go to a police station and call the police on your way there. If you are ever chased by a polar bear, take off your clothes, get completely naked, and throw them on the ground. Polar bears have really short attention spans and will inspect the clothes before continuing to chase you. If you ever come face to face with a mountain lion, just walk backwards from them. They will be waiting for you to turn around to attack. If there's an earthquake, do not go up or down any stairs. They can collapse. Hornets are angered by the color white, and if you think that taking your white shirt is going to help, there's white in your eyeballs that they will still see. Putting mud all over your body will keep you from being eaten alive by insects. If somebody ever has you at gunpoint or with a knife and is trying to take you to a private place, you just have to start screaming and fighting, because even if you get shot in the leg, you're more likely to actually get found than if you get to the private place. You will likely not be found.
All those facts, man, you were spitting. I think the one that got to me the most was he said that there was a whistle on your backpack. I never knew that. I'm gonna have to check that out, see if I have one, man. The more you know. All those facts, oh man. Tell me down below if you guys knew about any of those facts, because I sure as hell didn't. As I said, tap in with us, man. You're gonna learn some things. Seekers, man, if you guys stay with me to the end of the video, you're a true one, man, seeking the truth. I greatly appreciate that, man. Like I said, guys, subscribe, hit that post notification bell, man, hit that like button. Like I said, man, we're doing these daily uploads every single day, so hopefully you guys appreciate them, man. I know I'm trying to get better and better with each and every video going forward. Well, guys, we're growing. I see that, man. I see how we jumping, so don't make sure. So yeah, I'm paying attention, man. We're almost about to be at 2,000, so appreciate that. We're gonna continue to go, keep growing, trying to get better. Guys, gonna catch you in the next video. I'm out. Peace, YouTube.